Hey, it's Doug with Backcountry Pilgrim, and I am here to talk to you today about the stupidest piece of gear I ever bought. Okay, obviously it's not a very stupid piece of gear, but I thought it was for a very long time before I got it, and that is why I'm making this video today. This is the 1/8 inch foam pad from Outdoor Vitals. I want to point out that I am not employed by Outdoor Vitals, nor am I sponsored by them. I paid for this 1/8 inch foam pad all by myself, with my own money, which of course is the only reason you should believe anything I have to say about it. Alright, so let's get into why this foam pad is so cool. When I first heard about these and people using them as sleep pads, I thought, no way. You'd have to be like 15 years old to use something this thin to sleep on. I mean, I used to be able to get away with sleeping on asphalt with just a sleeping bag, but an 1/8 inch thick foam, to me, this was something that was just stupid ultralight. There was no real good reason to have it. However, I have since discovered that there are a number of fantastic uses, starting with the big three: sleep system, shelter, and backpack. And I'm also going to look at clothing uses and some other random things that I've heard people use them for. All right, so what are the stats on the Outdoor Vitals 1/8 inch foam pad? Well, this one runs $25 at full price. It's less for members, of course. They have three different sizes. This one is the regular. It is 60 inches long by 20 inches wide. This is closed cell EVA foam at a 2-pound density and weighs a little less than 3 ounces. Now, the exact weight can vary a bit, so don't quote me on that. The website says 2.5 ounces. It's about 2.5 or 3 ounces for the whole thing. Now, of course, a sleep pad's most obvious use would be with a sleep system, and by itself, it could be enough to help out minimalist ultralighters, maybe in warm climates. However, for those of us that don't have super young bodies anymore, or that want something that could be used as a regular sleep pad, it's certainly not going to be enough. However, it does make a good backup sleep pad. One thing to keep in mind with these is that because they unroll, they can be folded, twisted into various shapes, and used in various ways besides just the 1/8 inch thick pad. Every time you fold it, it is getting thicker, and this can be a lot more useful than the pad when it is completely unrolled. So for example, if your blow-up sleep pad gets a leak, you could at least fold up the 1/8 inch sleep pad to take care of your worst pressure points, which increases its usefulness without adding a lot of weight. Further, it makes a great butt or back pad, or both, without blowing up your air mattress. If you are using a blow-up sleep pad, putting the 1/8 inch foam pad under it will prevent slippage or give you a good protection layer against puncture. Further, the 1/8 inch pad can add about a half an R value to a regular sleep pad, or while you're sleeping, you could even fold this up and use it as a pillow. All right, so let's move on to shelter uses. First of all, this foam pad could be used as a sort of ground cloth, as a one-person tent footprint to provide extra shade, or as emergency rain cover if you get caught out in a storm. You could also open this up and use it as a wind blocker inside the tent if you have a draft coming in that's maybe getting under your quilt or something. All right, what else can this 1/8 inch foam pad do? Well, let's talk about what it might do in your backpack. If you are running an ultralight frameless pack, having the 1/8 inch foam pad inside can provide structure or padding against your back. If you store it on the bottom of the pack, it can be used for protection and water resistance when you set the backpack down. It can also be used as a doormat or a gear sorting or kneeling pad for damp ground, mud, or snow. And it can be wrapped around other gear like tent poles to keep them protected, especially if you carry these on the outside of your pack. Now, there are also some kind of weird emergency uses that you might get out of your 1/8 inch pad, and that could have to do with substituting it for clothing. You can wrap the pad around your torso for extra jacket insulation. You can wear it around your waist as a rain kilt because it does shed water. And you could even cut it up to make emergency insoles for your shoes or boots. Other uses for this pad include a yoga mat, a pet bed, or even an emergency splint should you find yourself in need. Pro tip, make sure that you always use your pad with the same side up. That way only one side of it is being exposed to mud, sticks, pine needles, things that could hurt your other gear should they come in contact with it. If you don't already have a label like this one does, you can take one of those silver paint Sharpies, write the word up on one side, and then when you get to put it away, fold it so that the bottom side is on the inside of the pad, and then either fold or roll up the rest, and that's going to keep the clean side on the clean side and keep all of the nasty stuff inside where it won't hurt anything else. So as it turns out, the 1/8 inch foam pad isn't as stupid as I originally thought. It actually has more uses than practically any other piece of gear that I own, and it's certainly not as stupid as the crotch pot. If you're looking to get the Outdoor Vitals pad, if you would use the link in the description below, I would appreciate it. That helps the channel financially at no extra cost to you. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been informative to you. If it has, would you mind giving it a like and subscribe to Backcountry Pilgrim if you are into hiking, camping, backpacking, and the gear that goes with it. Until next time, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching.